Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast and increase your financial wisdom. You will find episodes about investments, the infinite banking concept, how to fight inflation, the financial side of retirement, and financial questions Jesse asked his girlfriend. Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast on any podcast platform or watch it on YouTube. There are new episodes of the Wealth Talks podcast weekly. Search for Wealth Talks podcast online and subscribe for free.
My friends, do you smoke, vape, or chew tobacco? If so, Knick Knack Naturals is here to help you crush your vice. Knick Knacks are nicotine mints that completely dissolve in your mouth. No smoke, no spit, no mess. This product is only for folks currently using nicotine products who are looking for a better alternative. Visit knickknack.com and use promo code Todd to save 15%. That's NICNAC, knickknack.com, promo code Todd.
Attention, you're listening to the Todd Huff Radio Show, America's home for conservative, not bitter talk radio. Be advised that the content of this program has been documented to prevent and even cure liberalism, and listening may cause you to lean to the right. Here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right, my friends. You have successfully and ever so wisely tuned in to hour 2 of the Todd Huff Show. If you missed the previous hour, never fear. You know, by the way, this show is now on Rumble. We're now putting the program on Rumble. We're working on some things there. I think this will be a long-term solution or deal, but we're, I guess, testing some things, trying to figure some things out. So you can go to our Rumble channel. You can also watch it. I think we're putting it on the website as well. But you can listen to this program on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search The Todd Huff Show. So, my friends, I want to talk this hour about just the state of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is in upheaval right now. It is, and I want to go maybe a little bit back into history to kind of paint the picture of how we're here. In fact, I got a question on social media that I, didn't have the chance to respond to. There's a lot vying for my attention here, but the question was why, the question, a genuine question, why do I call them leftists and not the communists that they are? And so I want to address that. I want to paint the picture of where the Democrat Party has come from, where it's going. And really, folks, there's a lot of good news here. I'm not celebrating, first of all, I'm not celebrating prematurely the demise of the Democratic Party, because that we're not to that point. But they are in absolute disarray. It is in complete upheaval over there. And there is a mess. They've got an absolute unmitigated disaster on their hands. And if they don't right the ship, they're going to be in serious political problems for a long time. So I'm not celebrating. A lot of people, it's so personal to them. I don't celebrate the losses of the Democrat Party. I celebrate when ideas that are being pushed by whoever they're being pushed by, when those ideas, when embracing those ideas and beliefs cause you political consequences of losing elections and so forth, of losing favor with the American people. I applaud that. And that's precisely what's happened. So I want to go into that a little bit today, my friends. Before I do that, though, I want to talk to you. If you are someone who's in sales, sales is tough. But here's the thing. You don't have to do it alone. You know, many of you might be in a situation where maybe you don't have a sales manager. Maybe you are the owner of the business and you're doing direct sales on your own. You don't really know what you're doing. Listen, I've been there. When you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you start from scratch, I mean, you got to find out how to be proficient just to get by in a lot of different areas. And so I get it, but you don't have to do it alone. Matt Easton and Easton University doesn't just give you a system. They do give you a system, but they give you a whole lot more. They give you accountability. Matt Easton's going to personally jump on a call with you. I'm telling you, if you can start by following him on social media, but if you really want to get better at selling, Matt Easton can help you, and he's going to personally walk you through it with a welcome call. That's an exclusive offer you'll get as a listener here of the Todd Huff Show. He wants to understand your situation. He wants to understand your challenges, your goals. He'll help you create a plan, a system, and hold you to it to help you to be accountable. That level of accountability is rare, but it's exactly what sets Matt and his system apart. If you've been spinning your wheels, if you're feeling stuck, this is your chance to break through. Visit sales.toddhuffshow.com now to claim your one-on-one call with Matt when you become a member, a student of Easton University. That's sales.toddhuffshow.com. Invest in yourself and see how far you can go, my friends. You're absolutely worth it. All right, so the Democrat Party. Years ago, back in, I'm going to say 2010, this would have been the time of Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. You might remember, this is the Tea Party time. This is when the American people had reached a breaking point, or enough of them had reached a breaking point, to, again, form something called the Tea Party, to get involved, to go to these town hall meetings. And a lot of these congressmen who were at the time Democrats, who were conservative Democrats, or at least they were from districts that were conservative, they went back home during the August recess, and this is when Obamacare was being pushed through and all this sort of stuff, and they absolutely had it handed to them at town halls. Now, you may have seen videos of similar types of things happening to Republican congressmen now at their town halls when they go home for recesses, in particular with Doge and Elon Musk. I'm going to tell you that, listen, I certainly believe that some of those people at those meetings who've been yelling at the congressman for supporting Doge and Elon Musk or whatever, I believe some of them are legitimately real, but some of them are not. Some of them, this is not an organic movement. I think you need to take a look at why these people are there. And, there's been reports of some of these, at least some of these, maybe more than some, who have been paid actors in some instances. I don't know, but this is the sort of thing my spidey senses are going off because, folks, what we're witnessing Trump do in Washington, D.C. is popular. It's popular across America. Again, 3 out of 4 people who watched that speech had a favorable opinion of it, had a positive experience with it. That is a remarkable thing. Remarkable. 75% of America. That's across the country. Now, you go to some of these conservative districts, and it's going to be greater than 75%. You're going to be into the 80s. Heck, you might be into the 90% of people who are nodding in agreement with what is happening there in Washington, D.C. because of Trump specifically, because of Doge, because of Kash Patel's appointment to the FBI, because of all of these things, nodding in agreement, cheering this, in fact. In fact, I've seen people posting clips of Office Space, different movies or different TV shows that remind people of what's going on in Washington, D.C. Clips from The Office, where Holly Flax asked Creed Bratton, if you're a fan of The Office, you know those characters, what he does at the office. And Creed gets all worried and upset because Creed forgot what he did because he wasn't doing his job. And people see that there are federal workers. Listen, I'm not saying there are federal workers that work hard, but there are federal workers that relate to Creed Bratton. And so you'll see people post, I saw a Parks and Rec clip where a young man was tasked to come in and cut budgets by 40 or 50%. And I didn't watch Parks and Rec, which might surprise you because I've been told by many people I would like that. I just don't have a lot of time to do that. But anyway, the character, I can't think of his name. The gentleman who's the conservative guy just starts giggling and saying, I want to watch you do this. I want to watch you gut the department. And then the other character, played by the, what's her name, Amy Poehler, is that her name? But anyway, she's trying to defend the budget and say, well, I thought we were just going to trim it here and there. He's like, no, we're coming in with a machete to gut this thing. And so there's people who see commonalities between television shows or movies and so forth about what's happening in DC. And these are things that are popular. People are cheering this on. And so while there's certainly people in their districts who are upset, a lot of this is fabricated, or it's at least predicated upon a narrative that is not accurate to what's really happening, which is, of course, the narrative that Trump and Elon are trying to work together to cut services from you, to take away Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, just so they can keep a little bit more of the money that they make in their pockets for their millionaire and billionaire friends. That's the narrative, but that's not what this is about. This is about restoring government to its proper role. This is about restoring this country to her foundational principles. This is about restoring a limited government of, by, and for the people. A government that has the discretion, or excuse me, not the discretion, has the consent of the governed. That's a very important concept. This country was founded upon the idea, not that the people who freed us from Britain were going to establish themselves as the new rulers of this land. They said to the people, you are the rulers. We, the people, you are made in the image of God. Your rights come from your creator. Who are we to come in and to dictate how you live your life? We are making something special here. You, the people, you have to agree to give the government consent to do certain things. It's not the other way around. The government doesn't give you consent to live your life. You give the government consent to legislate and to do certain things, to have a system of a Department of Justice or a system of justice, to have a way to collect taxes and to do things that you've given it consent to do, which they outlined brilliantly in the Constitution of the United States. This was a revolutionary thing that happened. And we are all beneficiaries of this. We are all beneficiaries of this as American citizens today. Even people who aren't American citizens around the world today have benefited from what the United States has helped unleash as far as prosperity and the standard of living is concerned, as far as what charity is concerned, and helping out and making the world a better place. That's why it upsets me so bad when people demonize this country. Look, I know that this country is not perfect. There have been people and leaders who have done terrible things. Our government has done terrible things. That shouldn't shock anybody. What is interesting to me, though, what is shocking to me is that people go along with defending, the people who defend the lovers of big government, the big government itself. But there's not many of them. And so they have gotten to the point, the government has gotten to the point where the people have said enough. And so the people are supportive of what Trump is doing, of what Trump is saying, of the things that are happening. This is a revolutionary moment, my friends. And so, all that being said, they're trying to gin up opposition. They're trying to make it look like the Tea Party of 2010. But that, of course, is not what's really happening. So let's go back to the Tea Party of 2010. Let's go back to the Affordable Care Act. I remember going to some of these town hall meetings. I was at the town hall meeting. If you Google it, it's not in the stack of stuff today. But if you Google Barron Hill, what did he say at that town hall meeting? It was at Bloomington North High School. He's not my congressman, but it's close enough to me that I went. He was a Blue Dog Democrat in a conservative district, and people were upset about what he was doing, what he was voting for, supporting Obamacare, and they were not having it. And he stood at that microphone, I remember now, and he said, "This is my town hall meeting, not yours," I believe is what he said. It's on YouTube, I think. Check it out. I was there at that. Oh, he stepped into it, and it was intense, but it was real. It was grassroots. It was not fabricated. No one was there making money. No one was a paid actor. They were people who loved their country, who did not like what the government was doing. And from that moment in time of 2010, because a lot of those folks got voted out. I also went, by the way, to another, I say this, I know I drove over there, but I can't remember the meeting itself. There was a representative, I think it was Brad Ellsworth. Boy, his district was over near Terre Haute, Indiana, which is on the border with Illinois, along I-70 right there. And he was another supposed blue dog Democrat who was supporting Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. And there were people that, again, these folks lost their seats. They lost their seats because they grew government too much. But what happened in the wake of 2010, and this is what I want to go through of the history of what happened to the Democrat Party. The Democrats, they basically said, we don't care about the blue-collar Democrat anymore. They actually made these statements. You can go back around 2010, 2011, and you'll see them saying they're basically going to be abandoning the blue dog Democrat, the Reagan Democrat, the Union Democrat. That's how I was raised. I was raised in a Union Democrat household, but my family is certainly not leftist. They're not crazy. They're not out there endorsing that biological males play women's sports, that sort of stuff. They never have been. They were conservative, reasonable Democrats. But what happened, the party kicked them out because they lost all of those seats because these folks were basically not allowed by leadership in the Democrat Party to oppose Obamacare because it would have meant that it didn't pass. And so by casting that ballot, they all essentially lost their jobs. They all got voted out. And the Democrat Party kind of embraced that. And they said, well, the era of working with the Union Democrats is over. We're basically going to be a group of single issue voters, which is what the Democrats are now. They're the party of abortion, of pro-choice. They're the party of extreme environmentalists. They're the party of the woke. They're the party of the folks who want to see the LGBTQIAA plus agenda pushed upon your children. And for some reason, these folks who don't really have anything in common, Democrats just pull them in, a bunch of single issue groups, and that's their base today. And a lot of these groups are extreme, radical, and unhinged. So there's not many blue dog Democrats. This country is trending more conservative because they've witnessed what's happened under Biden in particular. They could compare it to 2017 through 2021. Then early 2021. And then they looked at the last 4 years from 2021 until early 2025. And they can see that the economy was significantly worse under Biden. Inflation was out of control. The border was absolutely open. There were wars that started under Biden's watch. I'm not going to blame him for all of that, but he certainly demonstrated that American weakness is provocative. You can't just gloss over the fact of all those connections to Ukraine and Hunter Biden and all the allegations and the laptop. You can't think that doesn't have something to do with the with some of the actions that happened around the globe. Makes you wonder how was blackmail applied? I mean, they don't want to have these things exposed about them. These are questions that I ask myself. What is the issue in Ukraine? Could it have been stopped if there wasn't so many people who were apparently getting rich off of Ukraine? If there weren't so many dirty secrets that people had on the Bidens? I just wonder these things. And we witnessed it. We watched as Afghanistan was an absolute debacle. The Democrats still want to blame Trump for that. It was his plan, his timeline. But it's crazy to me. Biden's the president. If you're not on track to meet the deadline, then you figure something else out. You don't do what you did. It caused an absolute unmitigated disaster. People lost their lives. An unbelievable amount of military equipment was left behind, ended up in the hands of the Taliban. This is as bad as it gets. It's a disaster. It's unbelievable. But this is what we've had to contend with, and this is what people witnessed, and they understood that it's better under Trump and Trump's leadership. We have a whole generation of young people that have been taught that, well, men are bad, that masculinity is toxic, that men are women if they say they feel like a woman, that women are men if they feel like a man. I mean, you've got a group of people that have been taught, young people that have been taught these things, that have grew up in a COVID culture. They've watched as people cheered the deaths of people that they disagreed with politically, or in regards to how they handled certain things they were told about wearing masks and getting vaccines and so forth during COVID. They've watched this stuff. They see who the truly nasty people are. And the Democrat positions on this, the behavior the Democrats have had, in the words of Jeremiah Wright, America's chickens are coming home to roost. And that's exactly what is happening. The Democrat Party has been taken over, has been hijacked by radical leftists. And listen, I'm talking about the people in Washington, D.C., the people in the state houses, the people in cities across this country, locally, or at the state level, definitely the federal level, people in the bureaucratic state. These people are the problem. The rank and file Democrat, yes, there are those that have totally bought into this notion, the wokeism and all that, all the crazy radical leftist ideology and so forth, but that's not the majority of people. There's still a lot of single issue Democrats, a lot of blue dog Democrats that have found themselves abandoned by their party. And for whatever reason, some of them still can't vote Republican. They can't support Trump, even though they find agreement with his policies. I mean, it all adds up in the numbers. You don't have 75% of America. 75% of America didn't vote for Trump, but 75% of America gave a thumbs up to that speech. I think I saw 62% of America, this was the CBS poll, I think, 62% of America actually was inspired by the speech. Thought it was, I think, unifying maybe was the word. So you've got Trump out here reaching across the aisle, doing things that people with sense know needs to be done. You got the left doubling and tripling down, pretending they're characters in Mortal Kombat, doing dances for cameras like they're one of those characters fighting in the Mortal Kombat game of the 1990s or whatever. It's embarrassing. It truly is. You've got Al Green out there carrying on like a fool. You've got Democrats, even when Al Green was censured, and of course 10 Democrats. Think about that. 10 Democrats agreed with the Republicans. Yeah, he was out of line. This isn't just Republicans attacking. This isn't Speaker Mike Johnson acting like a dictator or whatever they want to say. This is about decency and decorum. This is about acting, well, like something other than petulant children. And the Democrat Party has become that. They scream at the podium. I got a soundbite of Nancy Pelosi, of Maxine Waters, screaming about Elon Musk, wondering if he hacked the election. I mean, this is craziness what we're witnessing, my friends. And the American people have had enough. So I'm taking a time out here. Quick time out. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, the one, the only Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast and increase your financial wisdom. You will find episodes about investments, the infinite banking concept, how to fight inflation, the financial side of retirement, and financial questions Jesse asked his girlfriend. Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast on any podcast platform or watch it on YouTube. There are new episodes of the Wealth Talks podcast weekly. Search for Wealth Talks podcast online and subscribe for free.
My friends, do you smoke, vape, or chew tobacco? If so, Knick Knack Naturals is here to help you crush your vice. Knick Knacks are nicotine mints that completely dissolve in your mouth. No smoke, no spit, no mess. This product is only for folks currently using nicotine products who are looking for a better alternative. Visit knickknack.com and use promo code Todd to save 15%. That's NICNAC, knickknack.com, promo code Todd. Looking for the ultimate natural health supplement? Z-Stack is a trusted brand formulated by Dr. Zelenko with clinically proven ingredients and proudly manufactured in the USA. Z-Stack is the choice of true patriots who want to fight against the corrupt medical system. Go to zstacklife.com/Todd and use code Todd at checkout to save 15% off your purchase. Z-Stack, empowering you to stay prepared, stay safe, and stay strong. Welcome back, my friends. So, I'm going to continue talking about here what's happened. What has happened to the Democrat Party? Before I do that, though, my friends, do you believe in the mission of this program, the mission to help others hear and receive truth? We share faith, we share freedom, we share common sense, and we're taking things to the next level here at the Todd Huff Show. I'm pleased to report that our show is expanding into new radio markets like Portland and like Las Vegas, potentially Atlanta as well. At least one of those stations, maybe more, are putting us on in a time slot vacated by Dan Bongino, who is now Trump's soon-to-be deputy director of the FBI. And in order to make that happen, to take advantage of that time slot, we've got to make some operational upgrades. I talked about this last hour that allow us to put, as they say, our show up on the bird. That's getting satellite distribution. So as I thought about what steps to take next here on this program, I decided we should give you the opportunity to help us do this, to get the show on the bird by inviting you to become a founding member of our Inner Circle community. For just $99, we're going to give you a lifetime membership. That's right, a lifetime membership to the Inner Circle as a founding member. We've planned to launch this Inner Circle membership for some time now, but I think that the timing has never been better because of what's lining up here. So this is a limited time offer for founding members only. The program officially launches later this spring. As a founding member, you'll get exclusive content, behind the scenes updates, live video calls, group calls with me, and even a personal welcome phone call from me if you select the one-time payment option. We're looking for just 30 members right now to join today and help us to build this Inner Circle community so that we can become more effective in actually shaping some things that are happening, whether that's helping people to understand about conservative principles and values, whether that is, trying to impact who our representatives could be. Folks, we've got the ability, we've got enough people out there that if we work together, we can do, I don't know, this program is going to take on a life of its own once we get it off the ground. So if you want to be a part of this, or you just want more information, there's no commitment by doing this, but this is just to get to more information, or if you know you want to join, you're going to text the word JOIN, JOIN, text JOIN to 317-210-2830. Again, text JOIN to 317-210-2830. Or if you would rather, you can go to our website, toddhuffshow.com/join. Again, toddhuffshow.com/join to secure your spot today. Let's grow this thing together, my friends. All right, so let's get back to the Democrat Party. Let's get back to how it has turned into something that is candidly unsustainable. We already went back and did the history of what happened in 2010, how the Blue Dog Democrats, the conservative Democrats, were basically kicked out of the party. They were voted out. They were relegated to the sidelines, and the folks who were Blue Dog Democrats, Union Democrats, lost their voice in Congress as far as the Democrat Party is concerned. Now, this is the moment that I always like to pause and say, look, if you are a Union Democrat, you and I have much, much more in common. If you're part of the teachers union, if you're a teachers union Democrat, you and I, so long as you haven't embraced some of the wackiness coming out of the Department of Education, which Trump's about to, from what I understand, say bye-bye to the Department of Education, but you have more in common with me if you believe in common sense and traditional American values, the Constitution, if you believe in truth, you have a lot more in common with me than you have in common with the folks that are running the Democrat Party. I know, listen, there are times I have to hold my nose to vote for some of these Republicans, but they are much closer and they're heading in the right direction more than these leftists running the Democrat Party today. And so I would say to you, if you're a union Democrat, that you actually can be a union Republican, a conservative Republican. You don't have to be a full-fledged, just someone who carries the banter for every single Republican policy or whatever, but it is drastically better for your children, drastically better for your economy, drastically better for your freedom, for your liberty, for your Constitution than what the modern left has become. And more and more people are realizing this. And what is their opposition? Their opposition, and this to me is the takeaway. They have nothing left, right? They have resorted to basically throwing temper tantrums in the House chamber during Trump's speech. Again, I don't care if they have an outburst and say something here or there, but to try to stop it, to try to become a dramacrat because the cameras are rolling, to look for the photo op, as dramacrats always do. And listen, I know Republicans do this as well sometimes. This isn't just something only one side of the party, one side of the aisle does. This is what politics, unfortunately, has become. I'm reminded of AOC pretending like she was crying in a photo op that was in Texas. She said it was outside of cages that Trump had put in place, where kids were put in cages and separated from their parents along the southern border. Of course, none of that was real. That was all fabricated and made up. But this is what they do. This is how they behave. And the American people are becoming more and more adept at what is being done. They've realized how they've been played. Listen, and I want to say, if you were someone who used to fall for the tricks, I would say all of us at some point had fallen for the tricks. All of us at some point have come to the conclusion that what they've been telling us has been happening in DC is not what's been happening. We've all come to the moment of realization at some point in the past, I don't know, a lot of people in the past 5 years. COVID was a real eye-opener for people. But people have come to the realization that they've been lied to. A lot. I remember back on the farm when I talked about this in the last hour, listening to Rush Limbaugh when I was a horse farmer back in 1999, early 2000s. And I remember Rush saying some things about people in the Democrat Party, and I had a hard time believing it. I had a hard time believing that people did not love America as founded. That was shocking to me. That even when I was in college, it was shocking to me, because I thought, how can you not love this country? What do you not understand about history and the nature of humanity and what people have gone through throughout history, how they've dealt with tyranny and oppression? How can you not respect what was established in this country? I'm not saying it was perfect. The ideas are sound. The Constitution is profound. The Declaration is brilliant. These ideas, these ideals that we embraced, that we said we embraced, are absolutely phenomenal. We didn't always live up to those. Nobody does. But this country, in its totality, has been a magnificent force for good on this planet, especially when you compare it to other potential powerhouses like the Soviet Union or Communist China or whatever. It's not even remotely close. The United States has been a vehicle by which tremendous amount of prosperity and goodness has been bestowed upon people all over this planet. It doesn't mean that there's not been tremendous mistakes. It doesn't mean that we haven't had leaders or haven't made decisions that have hurt people. Yes, we have done those things. Yes, we had to fight to get rid of slavery, which was atrocious. Yes, we've made other decisions in our history, the leaders did, but that weren't good for the American people or for other people around the world. But I'm not defending everything the United States has done, but the bedrock principles upon which she is built, I do stand beside those. And I don't know why everyone doesn't. I mean, I do as someone that does this, but I don't know why they concluded. I know that they desire power. I know that they desire, that they think that they're smarter. It's rooted in arrogance. They think that they're better. They should be in power. They should be able to tell us what to do. We're a bunch of hayseed hicks and idiots. They have the answers. They want the power. They want the money. They want the control. I understand that, but I don't understand for someone who's genuinely trying to evaluate things and look at things to say, I prefer to elect people that behave like that, who think like that, who hate this country as founded, who don't think it's a good thing, who don't want to stand behind the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Sometimes they'll pay lip service to it, but usually they're telling us that the Constitution is a living, breathing document that can change to adjust to whatever they want it to mean in the moment. But see, words mean things. That's why they wrote them down, to communicate a specific idea. They didn't write something down to say maybe that'll mean something completely different in 200 years. That's not the way that works. They're trying to establish in written context the foundations of this country, why those things are important, why we should adhere to those. And it's hard to wrap your head around that sometimes, that people don't love this nation as founded. Again, I remember coming to grips with that myself, and I resisted. I did. I just couldn't come to that reality. But there are people in our government that hate this country. People that are elected politicians, people that are bureaucrats, people in your neighborhood, in your schools. There are people who love it in all those places as well. But there are dangerous people with power. And I've got to take a break. Out of time here this segment, my friend. Sit tight, back in just a minute.
Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast and increase your financial wisdom. You will find episodes about investments, the infinite banking concept, how to fight inflation, the financial side of retirement, and financial questions Jesse asked his girlfriend. Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast on any podcast platform or watch it on YouTube. There are new episodes of the Wealth Talks podcast weekly. Search for Wealth Talks podcast online and subscribe for free.
My friends, do you smoke, vape, or chew tobacco? If so, Knick Knack Naturals is here to help you crush your vice. Knick Knacks are nicotine mints that completely dissolve in your mouth. No smoke, no spit, no mess. This product is only for folks currently using nicotine products who are looking for a better alternative. Visit knickknack.com and use promo code Todd to save 15%. That's NICNAC, knickknack.com, promo code Todd. Looking for the ultimate natural health supplement? Z-Stack is a trusted brand formulated by Dr. Zelenko with clinically proven ingredients and proudly manufactured in the USA. Z-Stack is the choice of true patriots who want to fight against the corrupt medical system. Go to zstacklife.com/Todd and use code Todd at checkout to save 15% off your purchase. Z-Stack, empowering you to stay prepared, stay safe, and stay strong. Welcome back, my friends. Talking here about this Democrat Party, they're in a mess. It doesn't mean that they can't fix the problem. It just means that they have massive problems on their hands. I'm glad that they do, not because, again, I want to, they're just the opposition party. I want to see them suffer. They are endorsing some truly bad ideas. And actually, I don't just want to see them lose elections because of that. I want to actually see them try to fix their problems and move back towards the center. I mean, they are so far to the left, my friends, that this is an absolute disaster that they're dealing with. This is why the American people are not a leftist people. There are more and more people who are. And as we grow and expand this show into some places, Portland, that's a city that, it is really far to the left. I know that there are still conservatives out there. I'm looking forward to connecting with them. But the reality is that some places in this country have moved further left, but in its totality, overall, the United States is a center-right country. And we have been slapped across the face by 4 years of governance by leftists with the Biden administration, the Democrat Party, when they had control of at least the Senate. So this is the direction that America is taking us, to the right. They've seen They've seen what the left has to offer, and they don't want it because it's not good for their families. It's not good for their pocketbook. It's not good for their liberty. It's not good for their business. It's not good for their school. I mean, it's not good for anything. I truly defy you to find me one example of where the left has presented a solution that hasn't made things incredibly worse off. I don't even know what that would be. It is such a morally bankrupt worldview and ideology that it is just despicable. It kills liberty and freedom and opportunity. It is a terrible, terrible thing. Absolutely terrible. Friends, I want to, I think what I want to do here. I think I want to just here as we're wrapping up, I've just got a few minutes left. I mentioned this hour that we are expanding we've been given the green light to expand into Portland, Oregon, and into Las Vegas. And I want to say thank you to you who have been listening and helping make this possible. Some of you with us from the very beginning. And so I'm excited. We're trying to gear up here to make some upgrades that's going to allow us to reach that Portland market. And so one of those things is the one thing that we really have to do is get satellite distribution taken care of, which we have arranged. It just costs some money. And that's where, as I was thinking about this, I thought, you know what? The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to share this with the listeners and say, look, there's been some things that we've been looking to add. We've planned and talked about the inner circle for some time. Let's launch that. Let's have a lifetime membership. So anyone who becomes a member of the inner circle right now as a founding member, lifetime membership, $99. You'd never have to pay anything else to be part of the community. And we're going to build a community. We're going to have other content. There's going to be video calls with me. And if you make the one-time payment option of $99, we'll do a welcome call. We'll schedule a one-on-one phone call. I'll welcome you. I want to thank you. I want to hear your ideas for helping make this inner circle community a place where we can actually sharpen one another, right? To help each other become better and not bitter, as I like to say, and to reach more and more people, to give people a place where they can be around like-minded conservatives, a community where we meet, where we focus on educating and, empowering people. I'm who knows where this will go. I'm looking for a group of at least 30 people here at the beginning, 30 people to be a part of this founding movement of the Inner Circle, our online community where you'll get the exclusive access and we'll do stuff with me. We'll have, other content. We'll have video calls. And we're going to develop a program that actually focuses on making a difference in the spreading of conservative principles. The mission of this program is to help people hear and receive truth. And if you're interested in that, I think you should check it out. So you can get more information on this. This is a limited time offer, $99 for a lifetime membership, or if you prefer, you can do $10 a month for 12 months, become a lifetime member, and never have to pay again. For your life and the life of the program, you're a member of our inner circle. And I'm looking for people who are the movers and shakers who want to take a role in shaping this program and helping our community. And who knows, I don't know where this can lead. That's the fun part of this, right? That's the fun part of this, is the exciting part of this is to say, this can be something that we can't even really envision right now. And so I know where we're going to start. I'm looking for the right people. All you have to do is go to toddhuffshow.com/join, JOIN, toddhuffshow.com/join. Or if you would rather, you can text the word join to 317-210-2830. Again, text the word join, JOIN, to 317-210-2830. And when you do that, we'll send you the information, the link on the program, and you can check it out. It's a great opportunity, and it's going to help us spread the message. It's going to help us get what we need to do to internally upgrade some things, get on the satellite, be ready to launch in Portland, maybe elsewhere. But I got to go. SCG.
Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast and increase your financial wisdom. You will find episodes about investments, the infinite banking concept, how to fight inflation, the financial side of retirement, and financial questions Jesse asked his girlfriend. Listen to the Wealth Talks podcast on any podcast platform or watch it on YouTube. There are new episodes of the Wealth Talks podcast weekly. Search for Wealth Talks podcast online and subscribe for free.
My friends, do you smoke, vape, or chew tobacco? If so, Knick Knack Naturals is here to help you crush your vice. Knick Knacks are nicotine mints that completely dissolve in your mouth. No smoke, no spit, no mess. This product is only for folks currently using nicotine products who are looking for a better alternative. Visit knickknack.com and use promo code Todd to save 15%. That's NICNAC, knickknack.com, promo code Todd.